Hi everyone, welcome to another video. If it's your first time, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, how's it, what kind? I just need to like sit properly. I feel like, hold on, I feel like I am like uncomfortable. Get it? Okay, now I'm comfortable. Need my coffee. Well, it's tea. I have been in America as an au pair officially as of like September. Well, I entered my 4th year in total. I'm like still shocked. I'm always like, what? I au paired for, well, 4 years now in total. So in 2016 I did 1 year. I did like what, 13 months in 2016. Then I went home and then I came back in 2019, and from 2019 until now, September, I entered into my 3rd year. So you could say what, 2016 was 1 year, 2019, 2020, 2021, I'm entering, well, 2021's now. I just started 2021 in like September. So I'm in my 4th year. It's like 3.5. I'm in my 4th year. No, yeah, I'm in my 4th year. I'm in my 4th year of au pairing. And so I wanted to talk about what have I learned, what so far has stood out to me, what have I learned about myself. I'm excited. So I have a few pointers. I always say, as usual, I have my phone because I try writing notes down just so I don't forget, because I know I get so excited when I talk and then I forget stuff, and then I'm just like, after the video I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have said this, I should have said that, I should have said this. So yeah, so I have my little points. And point number 1, the first thing I want to say that I learned about myself in 2016 and this time around coming back is I really love, and it's gonna sound cheesy, it's gonna sound cheesy, it's gonna sound cliche, but I genuinely love God and I need God. It's like 1 point. I love and need God, and let me tell you why. Because when you grow up in a church, or when you grow up so used to going to church on a Sunday, and then you have an opportunity to not do it, like when I got here, I was like, oh, at first I was like, I'm not gonna go to church, and I didn't do it for like what, a month and a half. Mind you, I did Bible college, I was in church for a while, and then when I did it, I was like, something is missing. Like I just felt like, you know, like I wanted to be in it. So now when I go, it's not because I have to. There's nobody, I don't have to be honest. There's nobody that's gonna be like, do you go to church? Why you didn't go to church? Who? There's nobody that's gonna hold me accountable. I get up and I do it because I want to, and genuinely because I love God. And I've seen how just me being away from everything I know and moving into the unknowing has me extra dependent on God. I don't know if it makes sense. So that's like about point number 1. That's one thing I've really, especially like this year, I've realized about myself, because the longer I stay away from home, the harder it becomes, and the more I miss my family, the more I long for relationships that I've had in the past. And it's like that void that would, like, I don't even know how to explain it, but if you've lived away from home, no matter how not alone you are, there's like that sense of, you know, like longingship in a way. And I feel like God has like closed that void for me in a way. Number 2, I have learned to speak up for myself. The fact that I have a YouTube channel still blows a lot of people back home, that this angel, this shy, bullied, I was like bullied as a kid, super shy, super afraid, crying in front of orientations, au pairing has taught me to stand up. Because even though I had like the first 2 host families were not the greatest, it was crappy situations, I am grateful for it, because it was in those situations that I've learned to stand up for myself. I've learned that nobody is gonna look after me, or even if they are, nobody's gonna have my back the way I want myself to have my back. I'm not saying that I don't have that, I do. I just feel like when I came here, I came all on my own into this world, and I had to learn to be like, actually, I don't like how you speak to me. Actually, do not speak to me like that. Actually, I don't want to do that. You know, I had to learn. And yes, at first you're like, you just do, and then there comes a time where you're just like, actually, no, you know. So honestly speaking, I am so grateful that I learned to speak up for myself, because now I like this angel. Okay, next one, number 3. And this is one of my favorite things too. I learned, because I come from a big family, I've always had friends. When I say friends, I mean like my cousins. And then I've had like a best friend. We were always together when we went out. Like whenever we went to a party, she was there, she was invited. Our friends were very mutual. Then I had other friends in Nali and Ntando who, the same thing. Like whenever I was invited to a party, chances are I have 2 other friends that are invited. I hardly had friends that were not invited to the same parties as me, in a way. So I always knew I didn't have to worry about being the new kid at a party, kinda. And so when I came here, when I wanted to do stuff, when I wanted to go hiking, I was a new kid. I hardly had friends. Everyone had friends here. And for a while it got to me, because I was like, I don't have friends. Like, I want to go eat out, I want to go do these things and all. And this is like in 2016, and even when I came back again. And then like I was like, you know what, it's my experience. I came to this country on my own. And I always say this to people: you came on your own. Don't depend on other people to make you happy. You need to make yourself happy first. And so I would literally like go on dates by myself. I would go watch movies by myself. I would go hiking by myself. Yes, it's amazing you want to have friends, but I'm talking about when you don't have friends. Like, you new to this place. I was new. I wasn't driving then. I wasn't even like going to church. I was just like, okay, I can't be sitting and sulking. I can't be sitting in this house. Let's go sightsee, let's go do stuff. I learned to be like, to enjoy my own company, to a point where now I really love my own company. It's like the strangest thing. I enjoy, like, I really love hanging out with Angel. I'm just like, when I get to sit in front of a good book, or like in front of a good movie, and just sit and drink some wine, eat a snack, I'm just like, oh. To the point where now my family's getting worried, because they're like, you're too comfortable on your own. Are you gonna like walk down the aisle ever? But yeah, I've learned to be okay, especially because this is one thing I had to struggle with. Coming from a church that I grew up in, so I knew people, having a friend that was always available, and then just having a big family, you instantly have best friends. And so it was like such a shock coming from that to nothing here. And that was one thing I had to learn to be okay with. And I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying you're not going to feel lonely and you're going to want to hang out with friends. You are. But at the same time, you become okay. And I had to be like, this is my experience. Because also you come sometimes and you're so focused on doing a good job, and like the host families always remind you, you had to do your job. You had to do your job. You had to work. It's also your experience too. You came to travel, you came to learn English, you came to sightsee, you came to do whatever you wanted to do here. So do it, because it's your experience too. And that's one thing I am so glad I picked up along the way. I learned, number 4 is I learned to save. Like, I used to save in South Africa, but I would save here, there, everywhere. Whereas now I try my best to have a control of my income and just like to save, no matter how much it is, guys. Like, even if you're earning 50 rand a month, saving that 1 rand will help you in the long run. I'm still in the process. I'm not a professional. I'm still in the process, and I've used different apps. I've spoken about this in one of my videos on how to save money. I've learned to like save money for rainy days, because rainy days has happened. I spoke about when my dad died. I have to go to the doctor and all these things, and realizing that just spending all your money the minute you get it is not good. It's taught me to save, and it's taught me to look at the future and just like, don't just focus on spending and living it up right now. Okay, oh, I spoke about this. Number 5 was to say no. I touched on it earlier a bit. It taught me, like, honestly, I feel like a default with me is like, I won't say I can be a people pleaser, but I like to solve people's problems. I genuinely love people, even though sometimes it seems like I don't. I actually have a heart for people. I love people. I love helping people. And so I tend to want to take on people's problems and burdens for them, and just want to solve everything, even if they're playing me. And so now I'm learning to say no, and that saying no is okay. It doesn't mean I love you less, or it doesn't mean I don't want to help you. I will say no and be like, maybe you could do this, or say no because I just feel like you're taking advantage of me. And I'll say, like, I just think right now I'm being taken advantage of, which I feel like in the past I was trying to be everyone's superhero.
This is something else.
Which I had to quickly learn that it's tiring, it's draining, and I can't solve everyone's problems. And so I had to learn that Angel is number one person, and it's okay to say no. Sometimes you have to say no out of love. Like, you genuinely have to say no out of love. And so yeah, that's like one thing that I'd been struggling with, because the first time I had to say no, it was so hard. I literally was like, no, but maybe if I just
Stop it. Get some help.
Maybe. And I had to be like, no, you can't, no, you know. And also the greatest thing was that I was like over the phone and I won't gonna see them in person, but at the same time I still have practiced that saying no switch. So like when in person, or just even with situations, even with guys or dating, or it's just like how it's taught me to say no and set boundaries and not do. If I don't want to eat McDonald's, I'm just like, don't want to eat McDonald's, and I'm not being snobbish about it, I just don't want to, in a way. But yeah, number 6 is, and number 6 and number 7 are actually, I feel like they're the opposites, but number 6, coming to America has taught me to trust people. I think I realized that I don't trust people easily. Not to say that I haven't, like, I've been burned or whatever. I realized here that even back home I had been doing it, but it was only here that I acknowledged that. And a friend of mine brought it up, like, you know, like a friend in my life right now was like, let us take care of you. Like, I'm always the one that wants to take care of people, and I'm always the one that's trying their best to make sure everyone's happy, everyone's healthy, my family's good, that kind of stuff. And she was like, it's okay every now and then to let people that you trust or people to come around and take care of you. Because for me, I trust my family, absolutely, but they were like, trust comes in different forms and shapes. Let us, like, if you're feeling down, call us. If you need something, call us. Don't just call your family back home, or don't just not ask anyone and just suffer in silence. And so I'm learning to like trust people in the sense of like, not everyone is gonna kill me, and not everyone wants the worst for me. I don't know if it makes sense, but yeah, I'm learning. Especially like here, I've given my friends, especially my American friends, a hard time because I'm like, they're not my family, they don't know me, we do stuff different countries, that kind of stuff. But I am learning to like just open up and just be like, if they say, do you need anything, be like, yeah, sure, I need this, you know. Or like just asking and saying, hey, I need a hand in this. So it's like, even just talking about it right now, it's one thing I'm still walking towards, and I'm glad that I've acknowledged it and I'm opening up to it. But I'm genuinely learning to trust people, because they are really, like, as much as there are trashy people in the world, there are really good people in the world. And I feel like I've disguised it over with being a strong woman and Miss Independent, which is great. But at the same time, I've realized I've always put people here instead of here. And I don't think I've done it intentionally. I want to make this clear. I don't think I've done it intentionally. It was just a habit I created for myself, which came back and bite me, basically. And then number 7, having said all that, trust people and like being opening to people, I've learned that you believe people when they show you who they are. I don't know who said that, but there was a quote I read once, where when people show you who they are, believe them. Because once again, I love people and I love giving people grace, and I love, like, I will give you 100% and you can keep minusing for yourself. But I've had situations where I would constantly make excuses for this person and just be like, oh no, you know, they've had a hectic past, they're going through a lot of situations, you know, like, but they would keep talking to me a certain way, they would keep shouting at me, they would keep treating me like trash, but they, in the same tone, they're like, oh, we friends, that kind of stuff. And I had to learn, and like my best friend Pam was like, you having a bad past is not a green light to treat the people in your life right now like trash. And I was like, oh, that's good. Like, I had nothing to do with their past, so they shouldn't treat me, you know, like that way. And so when they kept, like, no matter how many times I was like, don't speak to me like that, don't do that, and they kept going, I was just like, okay, I drew the line. This is where I cut myself. Once again, it was also painful because I've never cut off friends. I've never, like, yes, you grow out of friends, but being here, I had to learn to be like, okay, when you show me who you are, this is who you are. I love you, but I love you from a distance. I will not be like, we buddy, let's do this, let's do that. No, it was just like a thing where, and it was the biggest, I think that was the biggest shock, because I really struggled with that. I really struggled because I was like, I'm coming from a world where, yes, I don't trust people, whatever, but I've never experienced people treat me that way. I've never experienced, I'm talking about people who I consider friends. I'm not talking about people who bullied me. I've never experienced friends who would just like flat out disrespect me that way. So it was like very hurtful. but I had to learn that, you know what, you can't change everyone, and everyone has to go through a walk of life on their own, and everyone has to learn, because like how I had to learn that it's okay to trust people, they have to learn that it's okay to trust people, and they have to learn that that's not how you speak to people. And so those are the things I learned in these 4 years of au pairing. I am so grateful that I did this and I'm doing it, because it like revealed who you are as a person, how you handle situations. Are you gonna sink or swim when a rematch comes up, or when you're around the trashy family, or are you gonna keep pushing? Are you gonna quit and be like, I'm out, I'm going home? Or are you gonna push through? And that's all saying for me. That was like one thing that I had to learn. Like, am I gonna push through? Am I gonna be a wimp and like just tap out? Because I could. Like when the pandemic started, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was so close to being like, I'm going home, I'm out, I want to go home. And looking on this side, I'm like, it can only be Jesus. It honestly can only be God, because I don't know how I managed that long. And I have a great host family. Shame. All kudos to my host family and to my friends that stuck around with me during that drama. But yeah, so that is it. I am excited. I feel like this is it for my au pair here. I think this is the last year. I feel like if they extend the au pair program again, I'd be like, wait, what? Like how? It's never been done. This is like the longest. And so yeah, how long have you guys been in America for au pairing? How long do you think you're coming for? And that is it. Thanks for coming to this video. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'm sorry to bring it heavy, but I'm excited. So cheers with the tea. Bye.